Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Andrea and today I'm going to share with you something a little bit more personal, and that is my experience with miscarriage on the first trimester. So let's jump right into it. I was a little hesitant on how to share this, what to say, but I think I'm just going to do this as conversational as possible. And having said that, I found out I was pregnant when I was about 5 weeks, and then at 6 weeks I went to see the doctor, my OBGYN and my husband. We found a heartbeat. We were so excited. And at about 8 weeks I went back for receiving the results of a bunch of blood work that they did on me. They also did an ultrasound and everything was fine. I was feeling fine. Everything was great. After that, we were supposed to go for another ultrasound at 12 weeks, but we actually went a week before. And it was there when the doctor, after doing 2 different ultrasounds, told us that unfortunately he can't find a heartbeat. And I was not expecting that at all. It was really hard for us. I just looked at my husband. Then the doctor told me, okay, there is nothing that you could have done to avoid this. It's not your fault. He reassured us of that. And I see why, because everything that went through my mind at that moment was, it's my fault. I cried too much. I ran too much. I ate too little. Every possible mistake that can go through your mind at that moment seems to have been the cause. And I'm glad the doctor pointed that out right there and then, because I started feeling guilty right away. Nevertheless, I wasn't assimilating what he was saying. I was not accepting what he was saying. I was just like, okay, but what do you mean? And he had to pretty much explain everything, I'm sorry this happened, your body is not responding because apparently the baby stopped growing at about 8 weeks. So he said the fetus has not developed and you're gonna have to go to a clinic to have it removed because your body's not responding. So at that point I actually started crying because I couldn't believe that I had to go to a clinic to have the fetus removed. I only thought I would go somewhere to be in labor and come back with my baby in my arms. We went to a place in the same office to have a third ultrasound just to confirm and be sure before actually making an appointment to the clinic to have DNC. We had people around that we could talk to from our church, and yes, we just talked to them after leaving the doctor's office, and we were able to vent out, but still something in my mind and in my heart was not clicking. I was just in shock. I couldn't believe it. I was praying for a miracle. I was just telling my husband, okay, maybe God can make a miracle. Let's wait. I don't want to go right away. Anyways, my doctor told me maybe you can wait 2-3 days tops, and then you can go to the clinic to have the fetus removed. But I waited a little bit more. I waited 5 days. I know it's not too long, but still. So I didn't have the need to go to the clinic because the day before my appointment, I started having pain. I went to sleep, everything was fine. I was not happy about going to the clinic on Monday, but the appointment was made. I was still hoping for a miracle that whenever I show up to the clinic and they maybe do another ultrasound just to be sure, I was expecting that they would say, oh, your baby is fine. Actually, there was a mistake. I really hoped that was I didn't want to cry or anything, because I was if I cry, this is gonna be real. I'm just gonna wait. And Sunday night, in the middle of the night, I woke up with a lot of pain and sweating. I could barely walk because I was in so much pain. And when I went to the bathroom, the miscarrying process began. So I was bleeding a lot. I don't know how I was able to sleep through that pain, because when I woke up, it's like a switch was turned on, and the pain was so bad that I started losing consciousness. And I called my husband. I don't remember if I called him or he came to just see how I was doing, but I don't know how he saw me. He called 911 because I was losing consciousness. I went to the hospital. Thank God I passed all the tissue that needed to pass at home, and by the time I got to the hospital, they just gave me something for the pain, something to manage my blood loss so I don't continue to lose too much blood. And when the doctors came to talk to us after my pain was managed, because I was in so much pain, it was awful, they told us that okay, everything passed and that I actually finished the process of miscarrying. And I could not cry. I was numb. I couldn't say anything. I was quiet, and I stayed like that for a couple of days. I remember coming back home and I cried a little, but not until days after that I actually cried so much. So I don't know if I'm the only one who went through something like that, and kind of like your emotions got shut. Mine got shut down, and it was hard because everyone would, when we would break the news, because some people knew that we were pregnant, they would cry with us. They would, and then I would be able to cry a little or not. So I think I was upset, and I didn't want to accept what has happened to me and to my husband. And only when I could be alone and pray, I would be able to cry and feel and allow myself to take in the pain, to actually start a process of grieving. I started to feel so much anger. I was so angry at God for not necessarily for letting this happen to me, but for not listening to my prayer, for not doing what I wanted him to do, which was save my baby or bring him back. So I got to the point of just being isolated. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I was just in my room most of the time. I dropped off from a lot of things that I had to do, and I would just be in my room and pray and cry and be like, really? Like, really? Why would you do this to God? I not like asking him or like he owed something to me, but more like, I can't believe you let this happen. I can't believe you didn't do something. I realized that God had actually listened or answered to a prayer that I had, and I wrote it down on my journal before finding out I was pregnant, when I was just unsure, am I pregnant, am I not? And I wrote, God, whatever your will is, help me go through it. If I'm pregnant, if I'm not, whatever is it that you're bringing into my life, help me and allow me to be able to handle it and go through it. And actually, God was helping me do that. He put a lot of people in our lives that were able to listen to us, that were able to cry for us. Even when I couldn't cry, someone was there to cry for me. And not only that, but God actually gave us a purpose. He gave us the ability to give it a meaning and not just make that something random that happened to us for no reason. And 2 Corinthians 1 verse 3 and 4 says, "Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort those who are in any trouble, with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God. I learned that it's not just for me, that not everything about this is about me. It is also about many other people out there who are going through the same pain and may feel as lost as I was, or may feel as confused and angry as I was. Because only a couple of people that I talked to that went through it, I was able to connect to them and actually listen, and actually was able to express my feelings and cry with them, because I didn't feel like anyone else could understand me other than another woman or another couple that felt the same pain that I did. So I realized that this didn't happen just because, but it happened because of you who are watching this. It happened because of other women that I will get to come across, and maybe they went through something similar, and I will be able to be there and tell them and you, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I comprehend the pain that you're going through, and I'm so sorry. To know that I understand, and know that you're not alone. And many other women are also there, or have been there, and know what it is like. But by looking at their lives, and even looking at me now, I see that there is life after this. There is more after this pain. So that is one thing. And another thing that helped me so much was found in 1 Peter 5, verse 6 and 7. It says, "Therefore humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you." Knowing that God cared for me and my husband, knowing that it's not that he didn't care about my pain and didn't mind, or he was just a bad God. He wasn't. He didn't stop loving me. It was just something that had to happen, and with humbleness, with a humble attitude, I had to come before him and be humble enough to accept what was going on, so I could go on with my grieving process and actually know that God cares for me, and that I will be able to find comfort in him. And I did. All the time that I was inside my room, not wanting to talk to anyone and depressed, I was crying and praying to God, but I found that he cares for me. So I was able to grieve and even worship him and sing songs about pain and loss. But despite of all the pain, know that he is greater, and that he would take me out of that. He cares for you, and he cares for what happened to you, and you're gonna be okay. And right now, this may be so hard. It's almost been a year for me, and I still tear up sometimes. And it's something that will stay with you forever. But you're not alone in this. I'm just here to tell you that things will get better. And I'm sorry again for you to be going through this. Don't lose hope. Don't lose yourself in it. You will be able to find comfort and refuge in God, because he cares for you and he loves you, and this is temporarily. You will not be in this pain forever. Thank you so much for watching. I really pray that God will continue comforting you and healing you from this loss. I will see you in the next video, and if you want to reach out or anything, I will leave my social media underneath. You can DM me or just comment in the section down below if you've found this helpful or anything. I really hope you guys are doing fine, and I will see you in the next video.